All right, let's get this going. Give me 1 minute. Connect. iPhone 33. Oh, you know what? Turn on the Bluetooth so you can listen to it over the...
Motion detected in the front yard.
Connected. Let's see here. Let's see if the White House is live yet. Welcome back, guys. I'm just setting something up right here. Let's put it on this. In the background. That way I can watch what's going on here. Why is it doing this? Listen to that in the background. Okay, so I got it on in the background for when Trump honors Charlie Kirk. We can hear it. Thank you guys. I won't have any comments right now until I get situated on the freeway. Let me see which direction it has me going. Last time I tried to take me down to 5. I'd rather have the 99. Let's just take me down. So take 50. Give me directions home using the 99 freeway. No, that's not. These maps are driving me up a wall. No, it doesn't. Give me a second, guys. Let me pull over here. I don't know why the maps won't give you multiple things anymore. Give me 1 second. Hopefully we're not missing anything. Let's try Google. Maybe it'll give me options. This one did it right. All right, we got the maps up. Apple Maps is beginning to suck. I used Apple Maps a lot, but it's beginning to suck. Hello, welcome. I hope everybody had a wonderful time today. That was a great event honoring Charlie Kirk. And once we get on the freeway, I'm gonna give. I know Patricia and old Uncle Bill donated. Thank you. And I think there was another one I gotta look at though. Street over. For some reason, it wanted me to take the other way. Apple Maps wanted me to take 3 hours and 46 minutes down the 5, which I don't like taking the 5. This one's 3 hours and 11 minutes to home. Fresno. Seems like I would know just by coming here so many times. Once we're on the 99, we'll get rid of the maps and put on the sound of the background. And again, thank you for everybody that rode along all the way from Clovis to Portland, Portland to Sacramento, and now Sacramento back home. You guys make it possible. Thank you. We got to get some lunch. We are starving too. And soaking wet. Once I get gas, I'm going to take these shoes off. Coming down for a while out there. Thank you, Punky. Yeah, it was a good time out there. That was going on across the country. I think that's what's amazing, is how united all these groups are. I had some people send some people over to me while the live stream was going on that just heard that the memorial was about Charlie Kirk, and they wanted to know where they could watch it at. And they were business people, not people that were going to that event today, but they had to go somewhere and they want to know where they could watch it at. Till empty, so probably Elk Grove or somewhere. Okay, if you're gonna get over, just get over, give it gas. California drivers, they don't know how to merge. I told you, man, I'm going to the beach this weekend. It's Rachel's birthday, so I will not be at the No Kings protests unless there's one near Pismo, but I doubt there's one near Pismo. We might go visit one, but I don't have no plans of covering that, especially I'll get in trouble. Rachel's birthday, she wants to have that clam festival a couple hours away from home, so we're gonna drive down there and get some clam chowder. But we got the BC Preacher in the house, guys. I have to Venmo him every time he comments in here, and it's getting expensive. It's $5 a comment just so that I can get him to comment in here, and it's getting pricey, guys. Hey, I seen your brother today, BC Preacher. I seen your brother. He was at the Capitol. Where's Quincy at today? Is he still in Portland? I think he misses that place. I think he went and got a freaking tent. Hang out under an overpass. We are on the 99. We are good. We are clear. Now, we gotta stay on this for 109 miles. That's nothing compared to what we drove yesterday. I'll make sure the audio's good. Fine. Gotta figure out why audio's not connected here. I think I know why. I didn't click the audio button. So we're gonna have this in the background, and then we're gonna be playing in the background when Trump honors Charlie Kirk today from the White House. Should be happening any moment. I got the one live stream in the background. So 11 p.m. last night. Your brother Julius was at the Capitol today, brother. Your brother Julius was down there. He came popping around the corner. Thought I was getting mugged, but I have pepper spray. I have pepper spray. So, dang, he got home at 4:45 in the morning, bro. What are you doing? I wonder what kind of energy drink that is, Quincy. Wonder what's really going on over there. Way back. Oh, everybody in other chats don't have a clue. I love it. Emily. It's about time you did something, man. I was worried about you. We thought you had fallen. No, but hey, I think we're gonna have something coming up soon where me and Quincy is gonna be on the road together, waiting for the next ICE facility to pop off. They've had LA, Chicago, and Portland. They're gonna do another one here soon. Just wait and see. They're strategic. And me and Quincy's gonna be down there in our No King shirt with our live streams. For freedom. We're gonna do it. We got to keep the momentum rolling. Oh, here it is. Okay, listen to the background. They're outside the White House.
It has not yet quite gotten underway here, but we do have another vantage point that I did want to share with you here. As we do see family members of President Trump as well as other officials heading in here to the ceremony. So this is set to get underway here any moment now. We also do know, as I pull up this post here, let's see if we can get this up. We do know Erica Kirk has arrived at the White House. And it does not appear to be pulling up for me here, but we do see this post here from Mikey McCoy, who is the chief of staff to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. that Erica Kirk has arrived there at the White House as well. It says to celebrate Charlie's life and legacy. Today, Charlie would be celebrating his 32nd birthday. Instead, Erica will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom on his behalf. We are going to work here to see if we can pull that up for you. But in the meantime, let's just take another live look here before we head away for a quick commercial break.
Okay, they're going to do a quick commercial break. They haven't started. Mama Jan, it was great seeing you today as well. Thank you so much. Man, connecting with a lot of folks again. That is awesome. I appreciate you. Mama Jan bared the rain too out there, guys. Kathy Richardson in the house. We got to get to, you know what? I know how I can top off Quincy in a big way. If I happen to make sure I go through Ohio next time I'm over there and go visit Kathy, Quincy would have nothing on me. Yeah, my feet are soaked too. I'm gonna take off my shoes as soon as I can get to a spot to get gas. And then we're gonna go through an In-N-Out drive-through. We're gonna get 2 3x3s today. Quincy don't know about that In-N-Out. Carol, we're gonna come see you too. As long as you like me better than Quincy on streaming, then I'll visit y'all to the motorhome and just start traveling to folks. But here, coming up shortly, guys, I will be quiet and you guys will be listening to the ceremony of Trump honoring Charlie Kirk. It's coming up. It's gonna be audio only. It's raining again, man. Such a blessed event today. I was on hers and the other groups. They put a lot of time and effort. They had drinks, snacks. They had a kids coloring table where they could do some. They are busting their butt. So if you are ever in the area, you need to go show your support.
Medal of Freedom. And as we just heard up the sound here during the commercial break, it does appear that this has not gone underway quite yet. We do see people starting to take their seats there. We do have this post here that I was going to share with you, and we do have it working now. And this again is from Mikey McCoy. He's the chief of staff to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. And he shared this video here of Erica Kirk arriving at the White House, and he goes on to say
oh, it goes on. Don't do this today. Did I hit the phone? That should not be an issue with streaming. It's a damn website. Live Fox Now sucks sometimes. I'm checking my internet. Give me a second.
Potentially a little delayed because we did see President Trump meeting with Argentina's president for this lunch that happened maybe about an hour or two ago at this point. But the friends, colleagues, and the pastors of Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk celebrating his life and legacy. As we've been saying here, President Trump is preparing to award him the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. President Trump announced in September he would posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, calling him, quote, a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Kirk is set to receive that honor today in just a matter of moments. And as we've been sharing here from that post from Mikey McCoy, this would have been his 32nd birthday.
Man.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to individuals whom presidents determine have made exceptional contributions to the country. And I do want to head back to this other vantage point that we do have here. Let's just listen in here for a moment.
They need to get better audio over there. They don't have good audio because but we're turning that down really quick until we get something. Not a good place to stop in the rain. I hope they're okay. Oh, they're pumping up their tire. Mama Jan said, very impressive. It really is, guys. Just go out there and shake their hand and show support. I thought it was an excellent turnout today for the weather. It's a Tuesday, conservatives work, and I thought it was really epic that all that went on and the turnout they had. I'm gonna get off on Elk Grove and get gas, even though it's pricey over here. I didn't get gas this morning because we were in a hurry to get there, and we are going down fast. Hopefully they're fixing their audio.
So as we were just listening in there, you can see here, we are still awaiting for this to get underway here. This is all coming just a little role in his 2024 election victory. That drew tens of thousands of mourners, including Vice President J.D. Vance, other senior administration officials, and young conservatives as well. And Speaker, conservatives should get married, have children, pass on their values, and keep building their movement. They also repeatedly told conservative activists the best ways to honor Kirk was by doubling down on that mission to move American politics further. And as you can see here, now we're getting a bit of a zoomed in shot.
Turn that down for a sec.
But this is the latest post from Turning Point. This post from Turning Point USA that they just put out on their social media feed. So I do want to head back to these live looks, and here's another vantage point that I did want to bring to you. Once again, we're seeing members here of President Trump's family, as well as other officials, as I just said, as well. And we did see Erica Kirk also has arrived at the White House to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. And there is that post there again that I am sharing on your screen here. We do know several of Charlie Kirk's friends also in attendance here. A little bit earlier on in the show, we did a live interview with Jeff Webb, who is Charlie Kirk's mentor, his friend, and a speaker there on the podcast frequently, and he is in attendance. And let's head back to this live look. We're seeing Attorney General Pam Bondi walking in there as well. So other members of in the frame. So we do see here a lot of people starting to arrive. Let's just turn up the sound again. Let's let you listen in here as we wait for this to begin.
I'm only putting in like $10, I think. Oh, $4.35 I'll put in. Be right back, guys.
So the ceremony, if you are just tuning in here, this coincides with what would have been Kirk's 32nd birthday, and this comes just over a month after just about an hour in length as the president was answering questions from the media, and that is potentially why this may be a little bit delayed here. Once again, this was supposed to start at about 4 p.m. Eastern time. It is now 4:27 here on the East Coast. But let's give you this other live look here. It does look like the camera has zoomed in on the door. So potentially here we might see President Trump walking out in just a matter of moments here. But I also wanted to just share with you here this other live look. And we do see the audio is turned up here. Let's just let you listen in once more. We do see the music has begun to quiet down here, so we are anticipating President Trump at any moment now. We are just going to stay on this shot another little longer.
Okay. Did it stop me? No.
All right, as we do await this to begin here, we do want to share another social media post, and this is from Blake Neff. He's a producer for the Charlie Kirk Show, and he's saying in 1 hour, Charlie will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Charlie wasn't one for big birthday celebrations. He preferred to work, but he won't stop us from celebrating him this time. So this is just one of the several social media reactions we have been bringing you here on Live Now from Fox, and we actually do have this other shot that has just come in here, and this is a White House stakeout camera. Sometimes we do see people from the administration walking up there giving a statement, as we did see several of President Trump's cabinet members in attendance here in the audience just arriving moments ago, really, as I take you back out live to this shot here of the White House. Now, some of those people that we did see there was Secretary of State Marco Rubio. We do see Defense Pete Hegseth, as he has been seated in the right-hand side there near the front row. Also, we saw Attorney General Pam Bondi walking in there. Vice President J.D. Vance also in attendance. We also saw members of President Trump's family that are in attendance here today as well. Let's turn back up the sound and listen in. If you are just tuning in here on Live Now from Fox, we are awaiting this to begin here. This is all happening at the White House, and this is going to be President Donald Trump as he is posthumously awarding America's highest civilian honor to Charlie Kirk. And as I've been sharing here, this would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday, the ceremony coinciding with that. And this comes just over a month after he was fatally shot while speaking to a crowd in Utah. At Kirk's funeral back in September, he called him a great American hero and a martyr for freedom. And at that funeral, we also heard from several other members of President Trump's cabinet. We also heard Vice President J.D. Vance did speak at that funeral, as well as several others. His wife, Erica Kirk, also spoke at the funeral, and we do know Erica Kirk in attendance here today. We did just see a post on social media, a video of her walking in to the ceremony here. So we are still waiting for this to get underway here. Let's put up that post again one more time. If you are just tuning in, we've been sharing this. Mikey McCoy, he was sharing here that we do see Erica Kirk has arrived at the White House to celebrate Charlie's life and legacy, saying this would have been his 32nd birthday.
waiting for President Trump. Thank you for joining us. We are on 99 South, heading back towards home. But we're going to listen to President Trump, which is a well-deserved
And we also do know here that a short time ago, President Trump wrote in a social media post hours before this event that he was moving the ceremony from the White House's East Room to the Rose Garden to accommodate this crowd that you're seeing on your screen. And he said it would be, quote, so big and enthusiastic. I shared a short time ago here that the Presidential Medal of Freedom was established.
That back on there when that goes. Should be good with service now.
We're going to continue to monitor this for you here, and we'll take you back out to this live once this does get underway. But we've been sharing some social media reaction here. This one coming from Florida Senator Ashley Moody saying, "Today we honor the legacy of Charlie."
Website. I appreciate y'all hanging out. The Oreo Army, we love you. The diehards. So we have it on the White House feed now. Come out. Oh man, what a day. That celebration over at the Capitol was absolutely epic. Probably going to see some wrecks on the way home, I'm guessing. Actually, it looks like going south, it might be clearing up. Let's pray. Let me jump on this really quick. Yeah. Texas RW, MAGA Sassy Chick, Shelly Rose, Mater TJ, Micro Taz. Let's see. Thank you guys for being in here. Let's make sure really quick that we are. Oh man, what a day that celebration. Okay, so we're waiting for the White House feed to come up, and when it comes up, it'll be on the radio. Yeah, it was a good wake. What a contrast, right? Being in Portland, seeing how Democrats and Antifa handle things versus going to Sacramento and see how God-fearing patriots handle things. Big difference. Big difference.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is such an honor. Please be seated. This is the first time we've been at the new and improved Rose Garden, and people are loving it. They're loving it like they've not loved a lot of things. We have the Presidential Walk of Fame, which you just saw, and it just opened. We wanted to get it open for this occasion. We were hoping we were able to get outside, and the weather allowed us to. It was supposed to be a terrible rainy day. I was telling Eric, and God was watching, and he didn't want that for Charlie. He just didn't want that. So it's really beautiful. Couldn't be more beautiful. Today we're here to honor and remember a fearless warrior for liberty, a beloved leader who galvanized the next generation like nobody I've ever seen before, and an American patriot of the deepest conviction, the finest quality and the highest caliber, the late, great Charlie Kirk. Five weeks ago, our nation was robbed of this extraordinary champion. He was a champion in every way. I got to know him so well. He didn't like losing. And he was able to fight people that were enemies, and he didn't necessarily love those enemies so much. You know, I heard he loved his enemies, and I said, wait a minute, is that the same Charlie that I know? I'm not sure, but I didn't want to get into it. But it was a horrible, heinous, demonic act of murder. He was assassinated in the prime of his life for boldly speaking the truth, for living his faith and relentlessly fighting for a better and stronger America. He loved this country. And that's why this afternoon it's my privilege to posthumously award Charles James Kirk our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you. As you know, only hours ago I returned from a very historic trip to secure peace in the Middle East. People said that couldn't be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Charlie felt it could be done. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I raced back halfway around the globe. I was going to call Erica and say, Erica, could you maybe move it to Friday? And I didn't have the courage to call. But you know why I didn't go? Because I heard today was Charlie's birthday. And I said, you know, that was a definite. And I said, we're going to have to forget about some of those very big, very rich countries that expected me to be there. And I can tell you, based on the length of that flight, I wouldn't want to go back tomorrow. But I would not have missed this moment for anything in the world. Nothing. And it's a very important time for our country, and our country is doing so well. It's never done better. We are a country with almost now $18 trillion of investment coming in. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. Previous administration had less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We have more than 18, or it'll be much more than 20 by the time the year. More than $20 trillion. There's never been a country in the world that had anything like that. What's happened to our country is incredible in a short period of time. Charlie was a big person for, sir, can we close up those borders, please, a little bit? You know, really leaking badly. I said, Charlie, I haven't gotten there yet. But, you know, it came out the last 4 months. Literally nobody was allowed into our country. And the only people that were allowed in were people that came in legally. The borders are absolutely stone cold closed. And they reported 0, 0, 0, and 0. So that's pretty good. But he was a big believer. He wanted people in the country more than I did, frankly. He wanted them to come in legally. And he got his wish. October 14th is Charlie's birthday, and he should have been turning 32 years old. I tell you, when I first met him, he was like 22. And I said, boy, he's awfully young, but I thought he was older than that, you know. He looked a little bit older than his age. That's okay, you know. That's not good when you're old, but when you're young, it's great. He had the best of all things, but he was special. But instead, Charlie is attaining a far more important milestone. We're entering his name forever into the eternal roster of true American heroes. He's a true American hero, an amazing person, way, way beyond his years. And I'm honored to be joined by a woman who has endured unspeakable hardship with unbelievable strength, and that's Charlie's widow, Erica. And I just want to thank you, Erica. He loved you so much. I was with him. George, please. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I was with him before I met Erica, and he told me he was going to get married. He said, you won't believe how beautiful she is. I said, well, then now that I meet her, he's right. But then he also said, and you know what? She's like the smartest person I know. See, they do go together on occasion. Not often. Not often. But on occasion they go together. But he was in love with you. He was deeply in love with you. It's great. Erica, your love and courage have been an inspiration to all of us, and we will always be here for you, and we're always going to be here for your gorgeous, beautiful children. And we'll never forget what your family has sacrificed for our country. Man loved our country. When things were going badly for our country, he was so, as you know, angry. He would get angry because he said it doesn't have to be that way. We're also pleased to be joined by an incredible group of Charlie's friends, very powerful friends actually, and some not so powerful, and they're actually better people. Okay, I know they're the less powerful ones. I have to tell you that, all of you power guys down here. The best ones in the group are the ones that are less successful, but that happens too. No, they're all great, and they're here. And let's start with Erica's father. Where is Erica's father? Where are you, Dad? Oh, look at him. Wow. I want to get a hat like that too. I like that. How are you? Nice to see you again. Thanks as well to Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been fantastic. J.D., thank you very much. Great. Doing a great job. Did a great job on Sunday with George Slobodanopoulos. Put him away pretty good. Second lady, who's a phenomenal woman, Usha Vance. Thank you very much, Usha. Thank you very much. Great woman. President of Argentina. He wanted to be here. That's Argentina's a serious flight, right? And he's become a superstar, and he's doing amazing things. He's a MAGA person, but it's make Argentina great again. That's what he does, right? And I want you to stand, please, Javier Milei. Doing a great job. Thank you very much. Many members of my cabinet are here. Just about all of them are here. I won't go into every single one of them, but I'll announce a few of the people that have really turned this country around and helped me. Incredible people. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Where is Mike? Mike, what a job you're doing, Mike. What a job you're doing. And I watched you this morning, and you're in there trying to say, look, just let the country open. Everything will be fine. We're dealing with some radical left lunatics. And I would just wish Charlie was here to fight us. I think the fight would have been over already. He would have had a march on the Capitol by people whose average age is about 21, because there's nobody that had that relationship with young people. Right, Mike? So thank you, Mike, for being here. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Steve, thank you very much. A brave guy and friend. House Majority Whip, another terrific man, Tom Emmer. Thank you, Tom. Senate Majority Whip, John Barrasso. John, thank you very much. Yeah, all these senators, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not going to read all their names. I'll be reading all day. We'll be talking about Charlie in about 45 minutes from now. We can't do that. So all of the senators, there's so many of you, thank you very much. I do want to thank Senator Thune for doing a terrific job. He's really been leading properly. Do you agree, Mike? The team, the two of these guys have been fantastic. So to Senator Thune, I want to thank you very much. Incredible job. Watched him this morning, and he was out there pounding them this morning on television too. And John Barrasso, thank you for the work you've done, and congratulations on your success. But I want to thank you all and all of the Congress people that are here. I see we have our Attorney General here, so and you are doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Pam. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have everybody. Wow, it's incredible. Okay, I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to be here too long. But I just want to thank you. Have given him such support, but he always gave you such support. That's why you're here. And very unusual. Charles James Kirk was a visionary and one of the greatest figures of his generation. He was truly an amazing figure. And growing leaps and bounds, he knew that the fight to preserve our heritage is waged not only on the battlefield and in the halls of power, of which we have tremendous power here, including the head of a place called War. We call it now War. We had Defense. We had our Secretary of Defense. Now we have a Secretary of War. And somehow I think it's more emblematic, and hopefully we'll never have to use war. But the fact that we're ready is very good. Peace through strength is very important. But also in the hearts of our nation's youth, that's where Charlie rode strongest. At age 18, that insight inspired Charlie to found the organization that ultimately touched the lives of millions and millions of people, and so many young people that nobody's ever seen anything like it, frankly. Turning Point USA. It's amazing. And it's actually bigger now. It's become bigger in the last few weeks than Charlie ever thought. I think his end vision in many years from now would have been just a fraction of what it turned out to be in a couple of weeks, right? It's amazing. With hard work and joyful spirit and endless enthusiasm and determination. And he did have great enthusiasm. You know, I always say you need enthusiasm to be successful. He had great enthusiasm. Charlie grew Turning Point into the largest conservative youth organization in the entire country. He forged a personal bond with countless young conservatives. He fought for free speech, religious liberty, strong borders, and a very strong and proud America. In everything he did, he put America first. He really put America first. And ultimately, Charlie became more than a leader of an important organization. He became the leader of historic movements all over the country. There were movements, individual movements, one movement, but it was historic. Everything he did was historic, and a true evangelist for the cause of freedom and the word of Almighty God. God was very important to Charlie. He would say, you know, if you don't have religion, you're not going to have a strong country. It's true. He was so wise beyond his years. You know, I talk to him sometimes and say, this guy is like a young guy. He was really a wise man. From the time Charlie worked on my presidential campaign in 2016, and he was there right from the beginning. He liked me. I don't know. I have no idea why. what the hell was he thinking? He said, you're going to win, sir. I said, you know, I'm running against 17 senators and a lot of tough people and governors. We have all these people. And he said, no, you're going to win, sir. He's not going to be close. And he made it happen. He helped make it happen, I'll tell you that. Without him, who knows what would be. Maybe you'd have Kamala standing here today. That would not be good. I will tell you, Javier, you don't know who Kamala is. Promise. It would not be good. You agree with that, Howard? He also mobilized countless citizens to go vote. It's called Go Vote. Very simple. And with his help in 2024, we won more young people than any Republican by far in the history of our country. And we won the popular vote. We won the swing states, all 7 of them. Remember, they said, oh, well, if Trump could win 4, that would be nice. I win 7 by a lot, by a landslide. But the popular vote was massive. And we won the Electoral College. Remember, they said, well, it's going to be very hard. I'd say 270. Well, we got 312 to 226. And then we won something called districts, councils, and different things. But in one case, we won 2,750 to 525. That's the one where you see the map is almost entirely red, except they have a little blue line on one side and a little blue line, meaning New York and a little bit Los Angeles. I have a feeling that if the vote were 100%, we would have won that too. You want to know the truth. But he knew, and he knew very well, and he also understood honesty, and he was always concerned with honesty. He said the only way we can lose is if the cheating gets so bad, and that's where we came up with a little phrase, too big to rig. We said, go out and vote, just go out and vote. And we had that, remember, we used to say that all the time, because people would say, oh, they're going to win, we don't have to vote. Let's go to a movie, we'll come home and watch later. And he wasn't about that. So we come up together, we came up with that phrase, we're going to make it too big. I never made a speech where I didn't say at the end, now look, the polls are showing good. Don't believe the polls. I said, we're going to make it, Susie, right? Too big to rig. So if you think we're going to win by a lot, doesn't matter. Pretend we're losing. You got to go out and vote. They voted. And at 9:02, the whole thing was over, right? 9:02. Remember they said, oh, this could go a few days. Well, it went a few minutes. 9:02. And he knew that. And I felt it, but he knew it. He knew it. I think he knew it more than anybody. But Charlie never missed an opportunity to remind us of the Judeo-Christian principles of our nation's founding, or to share his deep Christian faith. In his final moments, Charlie testified to the greatness of America and to the glory of our Savior, with whom he now rests in heaven. And he's going to make heaven. I said, I'm not sure I can make it, but he's going to make it. He's there. He's looking down on us right now. It's so incredible. Look at this, how this turned out. This was supposed to be so dark and cloudy. Not dark and cloudy, is it? And look at that, how beautiful that is. There's no artist that can capture it as beautiful as it is today. Wow, it's amazing. As I said, on the day that he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth and for freedom. And from Socrates to think, and to St. Peter, from Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, those who change history the most, and he really did, have always risked their lives for causes they were put on earth to defend. He was put on earth to do exactly what he was doing. He didn't want to waste time. He would have been a top student at any college in the country. I know the college as well. He's smarter than the guys there. He was so smart. But he almost, I guess, didn't have the time, because he knew what he wanted to do. It wasn't like, gee, I want to sit in the classroom for 4 years listening to people teach me liberal principles, because they were never going to teach him that anyway. But he didn't have the time. He really didn't have the time. But every time the enemies of goodness and virtue tried to silence the voice of righteous and noble leaders like Charlie, they failed. They seem to fail. Ultimately, they look like they're doing well, and then they end up failing, because the truth has been unrelenting over the years, over history. And people like Charlie, it's just they've got a power that others don't have, and very few people will ever have. So today, like those martyrs before him, Charlie's voice, his message, and his legacy are stronger and greater than ever before. They are greater than ever before. this is a horrible event, but it brought out the greatness of Charlie. Nothing could have ever supplanted this. It's incredible the way people are talking about him, and with great love. I mean, I read so many stories about some of the enemies, but I watch the enemies, and it's hard for them to speak badly about him because they just don't. And then you do have people in the days since Charlie's killing. We've seen exactly why our country so dearly needed his example. We've watched legions of far-left radicals resort to desperate acts of violence and terror because they know that their ideas and arguments are persuading no one. They know that they're failing. They have the devil's ideology, and they're failing, and they know it. They feel it, and they become violent.
The devil's
They seem to
ideology.
become very violent on the left. They've rammed vehicles into federal law enforcement, fired sniper rifles at ICE agents, and me, you know. But I made a turn at a good time. I turned to the right. Charlie couldn't believe it, actually. He said, how the hell did you make that turn? I said, I don't know. But fired rifles, threatened the lives of our Supreme Court justices, our great justices. They have to be protected. We just issued a lot of money, $60 million, to protect the Supreme Court justices. Very important. We can't let anything happen. In places of worship, we're protecting our people. We've seen that a candidate for Attorney General in Virginia boasted that he would want to see the Republican legislature, a legislator in Virginia, shot in the head and to see his children murdered. He actually said this. And now he continues to run for office, and most people continue to back him, but he said he wants his man shot. He said shot in the head and to see his children murdered. And they keep running. Pretty amazing, right? That's a bad one. Let's see how that turns out, but that's a really bad one. Nobody's heard that one before. Especially in the wake of Charlie's assassination, our country must have absolutely no tolerance for this radical left violence, extremism, and terror. We're done with the angry mobs, and we're not going to let our cities be unsafe. We're going to make sure our cities are safe. When you have Chicago, where they had 4,000 people murdered over a very short period of time, 4,000 people, and then we have a governor stand up and say, oh, things are going swimmingly. No, they're not. We're going to make Chicago safe, just like we're going to make, look what we did in D.C. It's so nice that we started here, because this was one of the most violent places in the United States. It'd be dangerous to be right out here. But you couldn't go to a restaurant. The restaurants were all dying. The whole place was dying. You'd have these gorgeous, look at the Washington Monument over there. You'd have these gorgeous buildings and monuments and structures. And people were afraid to leave their apartment. They were afraid to go to work. They'd get into an Uber and they'd feel safe, and then the Uber would be attacked. They thought they made it to safety, and then the Uber was attacked on the trip in. But we've done a great job, and now it's considered a totally safe city. We haven't had problems. It took us 12 days to make it great. We took out, Pam, 1,700 hard criminals, career criminals in many cases, but these are hardened criminals. Many of them came in through the Biden open borders. We brought them back to the countries. And a couple were so violent that we put them in jail. We don't want to take a chance that they could get back in, because no matter how good we do, somebody can sneak in. They were so violent and so bad. One arrested 28 times. Every time he left prison, he'd get into a violent incident. 28 times. And we put him away for a long time. But we're done with the angry mobs. We're done with it. This is such an unbelievable place right now. You take a look where you can walk down the middle of the street with your wife or your husband. Your children can walk. They can walk alone. It doesn't matter. They can walk anywhere in Washington, and they're safe now. If this were a year ago, they'd have a serious chance of being badly hurt, even killed. They'd come in from Indiana, they'd come in from Iowa, they'd come from Florida to see their nation's capital, and somebody would have to call the parents, I'm sorry, but your son or your daughter's been killed. Not anymore. You hear those sirens going off? That's good. That's a good sound. that means they either got the bad guy or they're going to stop the bad guy. You didn't hear that sound because nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody. Listen to the beauty of that sound. Seriously. And that's the real deal sirens. They're not politically correct sirens. You hear them, they're about 3 miles away. That's great. What a beautiful sound. They're stopping crime. That's what they're doing. So we're done with the voices of fools. They're fools. And death threats, and we're going to make our cities safe. And I thought it was Charlie's, one of his biggest dreams was that he couldn't believe it. Chicago's going to be a great city again. We've already, we sent people in there 6 months ago. And this governor said, well, crime is down. Yeah, that's because we had the FBI in there for 6 months, just preparing it for the bigger surge. And they've done a great job, the cash and the FBI. They've done a great job, and they love doing it, They love being able to do it. They were restricted from doing it. They couldn't do anything. And now they're totally unrestricted. All they have to do is stop crime, and they're doing it. By the way, Memphis, as you know, you heard they went in about a week ago. One of the most dangerous places in the country. It's really in the world. It's not just the country. They have very few cities that would compare to some of these cities. You go to Afghanistan, you say, oh, that's unsafe. Well, the crime numbers are much better than the crime numbers in places that we have. So Memphis, I understand, is doing unbelievably in 1 week. It's like a different place. And this took 12 days, and then after that, we just perfected it. But after 12 days, we had good safety here. After 1 month, it's like, it's really amazing. And by the way, restaurants are booming. Restaurants are opening up. The big problem we have, you can't get into a restaurant in D.C. anymore. So they're opening up. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's called safety. It's called law enforcement and letting them do their job. And that's why I said last month that I have directed the Attorney General and the Department of Homeland Security to confront the very real threat of left-wing terrorism in our country. It's a real threat. Not when you confront it, it's not, because they're not brave people. In fact, they're cowards. When you confront them, they immediately fold. You have to see them fold. You have to see them crying. They fold. But it includes dismantling the networks that fund them and finance them, and we're finding out who those networks are. We already know quite a few of them. When you see these violent incidents, and then you see people holding this gorgeous sign with beautiful wood, beautiful cardboard, wood, everything's perfect paint job, and they're all the same. There are thousands of them. You know that they weren't made in the basement out of love. They were made by anarchists, and in some cases wealthy. I'll probably find some of my nice friends that are up there being so nice to me, especially lately. They've been very nice. But it surprises you who they may be, and you almost wonder why would they do it? But they're hurting our country, and we're really taking it back one by one. If we didn't go into Los Angeles early on in the administration, the commissioner, the chief of police in Los Angeles said, if they didn't go in, we would have lost our city. Now, they already lost 25,000 houses to fire because they wouldn't let the water come in from the Pacific Northwest, which they should have done. But you better do it. They didn't do it, and we had 25,000 homes where they had no water in the sprinklers, they had no water in the fire hydrants. It would have been a different kind of a thing if they did what they were supposed to do. We had to break in. We broke in and had the water come down. They said for the environment, it's great. They lost 25,000 houses. It's incredible. But the commissioner said without the federal government and President Trump's intervention, we would have lost the entire city. And we have the Olympics going there soon. I got the Olympics. We have the Olympics. We have the World Cup. And we have, most importantly, we have the 250th anniversary of our country. That's going to be most important. And all of these things are happening, and we're going to have safe cities. We're going to have very, very safe cities. So 1 month after Charlie's death, we still feel the terrible shock and the pain of his loss, like just about nobody I can think of. Charlie Kirk was one of a kind. He was unstoppable, and he really was. Boy, when he had an idea in his head, he would call me, sir, please, you haven't done it yet. I said, Charlie, relax. Just relax. He didn't relax. He called me the next day again. Got it done. But he was like indomitable and always will be. He's really irreplaceable. Nobody going to replace him. But they're going to do great. But you can't replace that kind of person and that kind of talent, frankly. The word talent is an important word, but that kind of talent. So we hold his memory in our hearts forever. Every single day of this administration, we will continue to carry out the mission for which he lived, and he really did. He lived for this country. He lived for his wife and his family, but he lived for this country too. In Charlie's honor, we will continue like we have been to fight, and to win. We're going to win so much. So, the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a big deal. You have the Congressional Medal of Honor, military, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is civilian. And the Presidential Medal of Freedom is a really big deal. Very few people get it. Very few people, frankly, qualify. It's a decision of the president, but it's a qualification that's a very hard one to get. And I would like to ask, if I might, the military aide to read Charles James Kirk's citation for the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Charles James Kirk. Accepting on behalf of Charlie is his wife, Mrs. Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential American political figures of his generation. At just 18 years old, he founded Turning Point USA and grew it into the largest conservative youth organization in the nation. For over a decade, he tirelessly traveled the country, leading a movement to restore respect for our founding principles, reawaken our national identity, and inspire a renewed spirit of religious devotion. He was one of the great debaters and communicators of his time. Despite receiving repeated threats, he remained undeterred and modeled courage, logic, humor, and grace to the next generation. On September 10th, 2025, at age 31, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while addressing a group of students. The United States honors him as a martyr for truth and freedom.
Here comes Erica.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way. And thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East. Thank you. Very grateful. Charlie always admired your commitment to freedom, and that's something that both of you shared. So thank you. Your support of our family and the work that Charlie devoted his life to will be something I cherish forever. So thank you. To our gracious First Lady in her office for making this event possible. Thank you as well. It's beautiful. To Vice President and the lovely Usha fans, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here and watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement. Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. It will. And today we're gathered not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor a truth that he gave his entire life to defend, and that's freedom. The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that the national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. He used to love to journal about this topic all the time, and with such a heart postured of gratitude. And he believed that liberty was both a right and a responsibility. And he used to say, freedom is the ability to do what is right without fear. And that's how he lived. He was free from fear. He was free from compromise, free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. He was a free man. And from the time I met him, sitting across from him, being interviewed on politics and philosophy and theology, anything that Charlie loved, any topic he loved, and I just saw the fire in his soul, and there was this divine restlessness within him that came from knowing God placed him on this earth to protect something very, very sacred for all of us. And he never stopped fighting for people to experience freedom. He didn't. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos. And he believed liberty could only survive when anchored to truth. And I remember in one of his speeches, he told the audience that the opposite of liberty isn't law. He said it's captivity. And that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ.
Amen.
But what's so powerful is that Charlie had the ability to communicate so brilliantly across all generations. And he reminded us that in a world that tells us freedom is doing whatever you want to do, the real freedom is the power to live freely and to do what is right. And in one of his journal entries, he wrote that he wanted everyone to know that you can't have liberty without moral responsibility. Freedom divorced from faith eventually just destroys itself. And what's so fascinating about all of this is looking back these past 12 years of Turning Point USA and his mission, there's almost this veil of sacredness. Because what I realized is that while he was building an organization, he was also building a movement. one that called people back to God, back to truth, and a movement that was filled with courage. And ironically, for a man who impacted millions, Charlie never desired to be the center of attention. He just wasn't. My husband was not a man of extravagance. He loved simple but deeply meaningful things. Truly. He loved his late night walks. He loved buying more books than he could ever read because he felt there was no such thing as a book budget. And he loved being able to read to our kids the same bedtime story on repeat because he knew it was their favorite. But to him, that was special. And he loved to sit in the sun on a Saturday morning with his cup of decaf coffee, and his phone was off because he was honoring the Sabbath. And for him, it was that moment to catch his breath and just be in peace because he was unreachable at the moment. And he preferred quiet birthdays. But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you. And so the rhythm of our usual birthday celebration for him was mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. It's just, and then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State. And they won. Oregon won that night. And it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have. Freedom. And that's what Charlie fought for until his last breath. And it was written across his chest in those final moments on one of his simple t-shirts that always carried a message, and this one bearing a single word, freedom. That was the banner over his life, and that shirt was a declaration. The same declaration he made in every speech, that he would spend praying for the youth of this nation and planning for the future of our country, and just impressing upon them that when we defend liberty, we defend the soul of our nation. My husband told anyone he would want them to think in a way that was anchored in wisdom and truth, but he would never tell anyone what to say. Charlie wasn't content to simply get people to taste it and to understand it and defend it. And his daily actions were at church. That was his creed. That is how he lived out every single day. He didn't fear being slandered. He did not. He did him for all. And if the moment had come, he probably would have run for president, but not out of ambition. He would only have done it if that was something that he believed that his country needed from a servant's heart standpoint. And Charlie lived only 31 short years. I was 32, but on this side of heaven, but he lived. He lived every single second he lived. He filled every single day with purpose, and he fought for truth when it was unpopular. And he stood for God when it was costly, but that's what we're called to do. Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did. No one else, I mean, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But He also loved people when it was inconvenient. And he ran his race with endurance, and he kept the faith. And now he wears the crown of a righteous martyr. And for me and for our children, the truth really steadies our grief, because heaven gained what earth could no longer contain: a free man made fully free. To all watching, this is not a ceremony. I want you to be the embodiment of this medal. I do. I want you to free yourself from fear. I want you to stand courageously in the truth. Listen for the still, small voice of God. And remember that while I intend to see it through, and the torch is in our hands now, it's in mine, it's in yours, it's in all of yours, it's in all the students with Turning Point USA. And before I close, I'll share with you that I asked our daughter what she would like to say to Daddy for his birthday.
Oh.
Excuse me. She said, "Happy birthday, Daddy. I want to give you a stuffed animal. I want you to eat a cupcake with ice cream, and I want you to go have a birthday surprise. I love you," is what she said. And while our son is precious, he can't yet speak, in classic Kirk family fashion, his actions spoke louder than his words, and his gift to you, Charlie, and myself for that matter, was deciding to become the man of the house and be fully potty trained at 16 months. But Charlie, baby, I know that you're celebrating in heaven today, but gosh, I miss you. We miss you. And we love you, and we promise we'll make you proud. And Charlie's life was proof that freedom is not a theory, it's a testimony. He showed us that liberty begins not in the halls of power, but in the man of a heart surrendered to God. And so today, as we honor Charlie with this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I stand here with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit, because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day. God bless you.
Wow. You know, it's tough there at the end when she said what her daughter said for Charlie. Like, man. Well-deserved honor of Charlie Kirk. That's just surreal. Absolutely surreal. But what's epic is how many people's lives he touched. How many people are out today around this country and around the world celebrating his life, celebrating his birthday. Nobody will ever fill his shoes. But there's a generation of Charlie Kirks now. Like nothing of our lifetime or I can think of in history. That's just absolutely epic.
I'll start from the side so you can see how stable these are. Careful. First one goes on, see the pontoon settle.
Sorry, I'm moving some. Let me check on you guys in the Rumble chat. Yeah, who knows what's going on? There's always a wreck right in this area. Good thing I had some food. I've been snacking on some food in the ice chest. I was hungry. Man, low numbers of viewership today. We got Old Uncle Bill. Yes, Old Uncle Bill and JH Candy Bar. Thank you for your donation earlier. Yeah, you listen to some of that stuff and just the way he reached the youth, you know, 11, 12, 13-year-olds watching his videos. It was incredible. Incredible. And he led them in the right direction. Let me see how long this traffic is. Still says 2 hours and 21 minutes home, but why isn't it red? So it says 14 more minutes of traffic. Traffic in Salida, and when you get in the Modesto. Crazy. Man, guys, what a day, huh? It was great having that band out there. Then the bagpipes down in Sacramento, or up in Sacramento. They just did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. Erica, a very strong woman. Her faith is very strong, and that's what gets her through. We had a pretty exciting week overall. What a way to end it on a good, positive note. I mean, we've seen some positive stuff. We support the federal law enforcement at the end. We support ICE. So to see them doing their job, it's just unfortunate that they have so many people trying to obstruct them and aid and abet criminal illegal aliens. That's unfortunate. That's interesting. They got looks a little different. A white Cybertruck. They wrapped it with white. So where are we going next? That's the question. We're gonna have to figure it out, see what pops off, and we're gonna hit the road. Yeah, it was coming down. It was coming down today at that event at the state capitol. Let's see what else is going on in the world. Javier Milei was obviously with the President of the United States today, making Argentina great again. We're getting some good rain here. Let's see what else. Start moving anytime, that would be really appreciative. President Barack Obama went and did a video to come out in favor of Prop 50. He wants to gerrymander California so Republicans or conservatives don't get to have a voice. Imagine that. At least we're moving at least 15 miles an hour. Better than it has been. Army for hanging out. I have a feeling with this weather, we'll probably see some more delays. Not involved in one of their little vendors anywhere around. Ooh, it is coming down, folks. Yeah, it's puddling up the freeway right now. clouds are carrying a lot of water, that's for sure. Wow. Can't even see down there. It clears up for a second and then 100 miles away from home. Nana Bear's in there, old Uncle Bill's in there, tired of this ish. Trina, thank you guys for hanging out. Shelly Rose. Got his hand out the window telling the other car to hurry up. Look at. You guys can see that. Watch. He's riding him. See that? One brake lights out. There we go. Cut them off. Probably not a smart thing to do in this weather with the ground wet, but different strokes for different folks. Yeah, a lot of folks don't expect this kind of rain in October. I mean, it happens. It's not common, but yet necessarily it's not uncommon. But this was a great storm for us. Get the year kicked off. We'll take all the rain we can get. Modesto, I think. I haven't even paid attention. I just wanted the traffic to move on. was Trump has a way with words, right? He's a character. Keeps hitting at Chicago, going in Chicago. I think they want to get some other stuff taken care of and get those resources freed up first. The people in Chicago want it, the governor don't. Outside here. We'll see what happens in Portland. I think it'll be interesting. Me and Quincy were talking about it. Do we come back down if the National Guard gets called out? Again, the National Guard is only there to protect the ICE facility. It's not like the National Guard are out in the streets. I would like the National Guard to go on scene with ICE when they're out in the communities, since you have police departments like Chicago and LA that don't assist. or protect federal law enforcement agencies. There's like one little opening of the cloud. It's going to be right in front of us. Almost like those clouds are super low, like we're going to hit a whole bunch of fog. That's Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Rest area 6 miles. Not near Turlock, are we? Oh yeah, we've been driving for 2 hours. I know we were sitting still for 45 minutes. I am I got a lot of stuff to do. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Sonic. Oh no, we are Turlock. We are here. That's always a good sign. We are over here in Turlock, California. one podcast tomorrow. I don't know what time. Probably around 2, I'm guessing. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, probably around 2. I'm going to take a couple hours in the gym in the morning, get caught up. Let me see here. Patricia Joy, if you're in there also for the $5 Cash App, thank you. That was during the last live stream. Let's see what else is going on in the world right now. See if we have any other breaking news. What's this?
Groceries, rent, or childcare.
Listen up.
While the president's recent order will allow the Pentagon to pay active duty troops on October 15th, it's only a temporary fix. It does not cover the Coast Guard or guarantee pay for the next period if this continues. Across the Department of Veterans Affairs, career counseling and transition programs are suspended. The GI Bill hotline is closed. But even in this uncertain moment, VA healthcare continues, and thankfully, veterans will keep receiving their earned benefits. Organizations like the VFW and our allies here today will continue to fight for service member quality of life and against disruption to veterans receiving the benefits due to them. Even while federal offices are shuttered, VFW accredited service officers are still assisting veterans at no cost. We are still helping service members file benefits delivery and discharge claims so they can connect with the VA the day after they leave the military. Because for us, service never stops. The VFW does not shut down on veterans. We urge Congress to pass the Pay Our Troops Act and a bipartisan continuing resolution or full budget immediately. No one who has sworn an oath to this nation should have to wonder if their paycheck will come or if their family will have access to the care and benefits they've earned. This is not a partisan issue. It's about the basic stability and respect for the people who are defending our freedom. So on behalf of the 1.4 million members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, our auxiliary, and our families, I want every service member and veteran to know you are not forgotten, you are not alone. When the government shuts down, the VFW stands up. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is April Vogel, and I'm the Vice President for Government Relations at the Military Officers Association of America. And thank you for the opportunity to stand with so many who share a simple belief. Those who serve our nation should never have to wonder if they'll be paid for that service. We're here because that belief, that basic promise, has been tested once again. Weeks of uncertainty have taken a toll on our service members, their families, and the civilians who support them. They continue to show up to serve, and to sacrifice, even as political gridlock puts unnecessary strain on their lives.
And Chuck Schumer's screwing
That's
us
not how a
over.
grateful nation should treat those who defend it. The President's decision to direct the Department to continue paying service members is welcome, and we're thankful for it. But it's a temporary fix, not a solution. It relies on limited funds and doesn't prevent the same uncertainty from returning the next time there's a shutdown threat. That's why we're calling on Congress to pass the Pay Our Troops Act to make this protection permanent, predictable, and fair. This legislation ensures our service members can focus on their mission, not their mortgage. And it must include all who wear the nation's uniform, including the NOAA Commissioned Corps and the U.S. Public Health Service, whose members deploy to disasters and health emergencies at home and abroad. Their service is vital and they should not be left out. But even as we press for that protection, we know it's not enough on its own. Congress must also reopen the government and return to passing a full-year budget on time. Shutdowns and continuing resolutions weaken readiness, delay critical modernization and training, and undermine morale. They also hurt the civilians, many of them veterans and military spouses. Every time Washington fails to act, the people who serve this country pay the price. They deserve stability, not another short-term patch. So our message is simple. Pass the Pay Our Troops Act, reopen the government, and keep faith with those who keep this nation strong. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mario Marquez. I'm the Executive Director of Government Affairs for the American Legion here in Washington, D.C. During the last government shutdown, I was on active duty in Okinawa, Japan, serving as a senior enlisted leader for the Marine Corps' largest overseas combat force. I witnessed firsthand the undue stress placed on service members and their families by decisions made right here in Washington. As a senior leader, I saw my commanders deal with the fallout from the shutdown, ensuring that combat readiness on the front line of America's national security was taken care of, or, and while trying to preserve morale and welfare of over 35,000 personnel and their families that we had under us. When Congress failed, it was mental health and other quality of life programs that took the direct hit. What I learned during the earlier shutdown is that it was the people who paid the price for political failure. It's that simple. And it's easy to understand why Congress makes those choices, because they're not the ones looking in the face of the service members and those families right in the eye when they have to deliver bad news. It's the military leadership, service members, etc. That experience is one reason that I'm here today in Washington, to fight for those who serve, to fight for those who have served. Yet here we are again, another shutdown, more military families at risk. While it appears that our military will get paid, uncertainty remains. Many military spouses today work for the federal government, and they are now furloughed or laid off. For these families, it is a double or triple hit, a lost paycheck and mounting bills. And when those paychecks stop, it's going to be those predatory lending companies and the scammers that come out on the prowl. We've all seen it before. Meanwhile, veterans programs have taken a hit, just like you've heard from fellow members of this panel today. The graves are unmaintained in a full measure of how much more disrespect can you demonstrate in that alone?
Oh, this great website.
Couple years. But what's the point of passing that when you're just going to shut down the government and throw it all away anyways? To the military families and veteran families, you have carried this nation on your backs. You have kept faith with America, even when America's leaders did not keep faith with you.
closer to home, guys. What a long Jersey. A lot of driving, a lot of live stream. I got some other videos to upload to X later from today's event at the Capitol. Those clouds just look incredible, guys. Oh, I don't have no firewood at home. I gotta buy firewood. Still don't have a heater. Gotta see. Hopefully I can get somebody out to look at it. But in the meantime, I'll get firewood this week. There's just something about putting the fire on, turning on something on TV, and just chilling. Let me make a call real quick. Alright, I thought something bad was going on because Rachel texted me and I seen it come up on the live stream phone, and I couldn't see the picture she sent, and said his face is numb, and I thought, oh man, did he hit his face or something? He just got done with the dentist. Ooh-wee. How busy. We might just go to Carl's Jr.'s if In-N-Out's too busy, but I need to eat something other than a snack. I am starving. Not starving, but just, you know, when you just feel like you're on empty because you haven't ate something that's filling. I want to get just a big old dump truck with a push bumper and just not hit my brakes when you're doing, like, you know, 65 and someone pulls in front of you doing 60. It just makes absolutely no sense. And it looks like it's coming down up there. Look how dark those clouds are. Looks like that's towards home. Funnel cloud at an angle. This would be a spot for a tornado too. A tornado, and we don't get, well, we do get big tornadoes, but not that often. But we do get tornadoes here in California. Last year, one hit right around this area, the Turlock, Merced area. It's usually out in an empty field. We would be doing some weather chasing, folks. I would be asking for prayers because we're gonna go catch a tornado. Fresno 60 miles, Los Angeles 280. No thank you. Going to Los Angeles. No thank you. Oh yeah, it's coming down up there. You can actually see down up ahead. So much so it looks like fog up there. Some rain, folks. You guys, holy cow. This is black sun weather. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you can see it puddling up on the road pretty good. Hey, it's the worst weather we've seen so far. Can't even see up there. Okay, I think we're through it now. That was fun. Again, told you guys, I could see it. It was like a wall going into a wall. get fries today, guys. I have a feeling they're gonna be cheaters. I always go in, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna run in here. What are you doing? Let's see what this car's doing. Are they pulling in there? Why would they pull out of one parking spot and go into another? That was a nice guy. That was a nice guy. No big deal. There's no kind of parking. Be right back, guys. Oh, no problem, brother. we're in business, guys. We're in business. And thank you, Gandalf, for that Rumble rant. Appreciate you. Oh, I'm getting it. Kind of feel guilty. I think I'm going to be in town, depending on this weather, in time for church. But I got so much to do in the Okay. We're ready to rock on. Let me get this situated and get my napkins out of the way. Ah, that was good. Hey, we're moving. Ask Rachel. I mean, we're an hour away from home. Ask Rachel is raining. She said, it's just sprinkling. They're getting it up here. Getting it. When it rains here. the most part. It's still sprinkling, but it isn't like dark like it is here. You know, I feel bad for the people in the parts of the country that don't have In-N-Out. I'm being real. Man, missing out. You know how White Castle, if you have a White Castle around you, we have no White Castles around here. I don't even know if there's any in California, to be honest with you. The closest one I know of is Vegas. How they package and freeze theirs, they've done a pretty good job. It's a pretty moving product, their little sliders. I can just imagine, and of course, when you heat something up in the microwave, it's never the same, but I would spend like $1,500 on an oven if I could just have these things stored in the freezer and it just cooked it perfectly. Weather like that constantly back east, Midwest, but California just doesn't happen like that. Usually our rains, we can get heavy rain. We'll get those cells that come through here, but a lot of times it's just a nice normal flow of rain and it's consistent for a while and then it goes away. the rain. We'll get some sprinkles. That is great for California, man. Beyond great. If it's raining, we'll take it. I have a patrol up here. Wonder if he got somebody or. Yeah. Oh, and he's in the back of the car. He pulled him out. In the rain. Well, it's not really raining. He's probably driving a fool, huh? I wonder if that's one of the cars that passed us. Wish I could be there. There's a protest this weekend. There's all kind of stuff. No Kings. Why did Rachel's birthday have to be this week? Chino's gonna be off the hook. Literally, the California Democratic Party is asking for all the communists and Nazi, the fascist, Antifa, and everybody to show up at this protest for 2 days. It's gonna be epic. She asked the daughter, "What would you give Daddy for his birthday?" And she gave that answer. That was hard to swallow. That was a hard pill to swallow. But when you think about it, we do not know what tomorrow holds. We do not know what tonight holds. close around us, we got to keep them close around us. I tell you what, it's harder and harder for me to go out of town with Kate now. Daddy, when you coming home? Oh, that car's spun out. Just don't let life lead to regret. I'm horrible with calling people and texting people back. It's my absolute thing. I made it my New Year's resolution that I would, but I just get so many texts, and a lot of them are memes or different stuff, and I see it pop up, and I was like, oh, I'll get back to it in a minute. It's like, man. I gotta make some time too for my older son. He's working 2 jobs, and it's like, he's free sometimes while it's my podcast time. I'm just gonna have to say, you know what? I'll do 1 podcast today. That way I can go. Think about it. Y'all know stories. Somebody was just on their way to work, got T-boned. I mean, a million things. We don't know what tomorrow holds. And so, man, I can't wait to get home and hold my little guy. Probably will want to play, and the only way I can get him from running around because I'm tired at night is grab a book. You grab a book, that kid will sit there through 18, 20 books and just be still as could be. You put that book down, all over the place, man. It's like, you know, they say that with kids with ADD, you get in front of a video game and they don't have it anymore because of the way it interacts with the brain different. That's how he is with books. Tired of this. Taco salad, huh? We are blessed. Road's not always going to be easy, but these blessings we have, we got to cherish. Mr. Handel says, God, Jesus loves you. Absolutely. I don't know if you heard that kid today. It was kind of cool. Oh, it was right after I turned off the stream. I had to go, I had a bag over in the corner, and I had to go find it before I went to my car, and he was Our Father, and was going through the whole prayer, and I was like, man, some of Caden's favorite songs is worship music. Dad, put this song on. Put Waymaker on, Dad. We have a good church here locally that the whole family likes. I wouldn't even say likes, loves. Man, Caden loves going to church. It's not like, I remember back in the day, church was a chore. you're just going through the motions. I think it's time to turn those off, huh? Kind of clear right now. I got some dark clouds over to the west of us. Oh, look at that. Right when I turn it off, get a little sprinkle cloud. I have a feeling it's going to be a wet winter. So we had a very mild summer. You know, this global warming, we usually have like 15, 20 days above like 103 in a row. I don't think we got more than like 7 days of over 100 degrees in a row. And it was just always, isn't that bad. 99, 98 in the city. It was like, it sucked if you like to swim. And I was talking to, I think it might have been Roberto, and I was like, I have a feeling we're just going to have a real wet or real cold winter. Starting off wet. We can use the water. You can see how everything's brown from the summer. We get no rain. Let's just hope they deploy the National Guard into Portland, things simmer down. That way resources stop being wasted. What a waste. It's not free speech to block the roads. It's not free speech. I mean, you guys watched on Sunday when they blocked the roads, the police came. As soon as the cops went 50 feet away, they went and blocked the road again. Arrest them. And then we need a prosecutor that'll prosecute them. I mean, it's one thing to do some. I'm not against civil disobedience for protest reasons. I'm not, but when it's a constant, everyday thing, like your point ain't getting across. You look like a bunch of fools out there. Everybody's looking at that group like fatherless homes, abused as a child because something's wrong with them. And it makes no sense. They weren't protesting the Biden administration. They were doing deportations. They never brought up a bill to protect the people that broke into our country. Well, it's all Trump's fault. It's all Republicans. They're evil. They don't believe in God. No, it's law and order. Especially when murderers, drug dealers, rapists, and criminals are coming into your country. A lot of no vote on Prop 50 signs along this freeway. I hope they vote no. Again, because that's the only thing on this election. It's one single item. It's costing hundreds of millions of dollars to taxpayers for Gavin Newsom gerrymandering. I would love to see it fail and just backfire in the face of Gavin Newsom. What a wake-up call that would be. But again, all these leftist NGOs and all these groups, they're out. They're pounding on doors. They're picking up ballots right now. What do we got? 3 weeks till the election? Q-Trip, we just got back. We left Portland last night, or yesterday we left Portland. We're on our way home now. We might go back if it gets crazy after the National Guard is deployed. Famous Pilot we always used to stop at. I don't like it since they remodeled it as much. I think the Loves is actually better now. Yeah, no rain. No rain. It'll be sprinkling when we get into town, probably. Not 410. Hopefully there's not a lot of traffic in Madera. Look at over here, it looks like it didn't even rain. That's how it does it. hear that Gavin Newsom's trying to ban Glocks now. NRA suing him. What an absolute... I love my Glock. But he's trying to ban Glock. Any gun that you could put a switch in to make it... you can do a lot and alter... There's already a law against altering firearms. It's already on the books. That don't mean you take away firearms from legal citizens. That's their goal. Slow. First it's the assault rifle, which isn't even an assault rifle. Then it's Glocks, and then it's the next one. Meet me at home. I have to look at my enterprise contract or my dollar contract and see. See how many miles we put on the car. I put a lot of miles on. Probably about 2,000 miles. Hopefully the washer's empty when I get home. We're not doing laundry, so I can throw all those spicy clothes right in the washer. Trip $3.89 a gallon. I'm probably gonna get gas in the morning. I got less than a quarter of a tank, so I don't know. $3.89. I think we get gas here, and then I think it's like over 4. Oh man, thought this was the one that was at. Get it at Costco. Chance of rain tomorrow, and then it's done. And it's gonna be 72, 73, 74, 72. Beautiful, best time of the year. to SAC. We got home about this time and started doing police calls till 1 in the morning. That was a long day too. Getting close, heading through Madera right now. Tell it's sprinkling, it's coming down a little bit over there. there's not a homeless guy on this corner. Usually they fight for this corner. This is a good one. Herndon 41. Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be nice. Gonna be great to hang out with Kate, Rachel. The dogs are gonna go crazy. Gonna be talking my ear off. Talk. Gonna tell me about everything that happened. Thank you guys for riding along. It was a long trip, a lot of driving, a lot of live streaming, and it was a good time hanging out with you all. I will be back live tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time we'll be doing a podcast. I always say we're not going to do two, and I end up doing two. I got to look at all the news and see what's going on, what we've missed, what we're going to cover. But probably, I'm guessing 2 o'clock. That way I can get everything taken care of in the morning, hit the gym, and then do the podcast. Want to say once again, thank you to everybody that put in on gas, food, lodging, bills. You guys, I love my Oreo army, and we will see you guys soon. I'm about 8 minutes away from home. Have a blessed evening.